Welcome to the Your Business Untethered podcast, a space for freedom seekers ready to build and scale a business that supports their wildest dreams, even while traveling the world. Hi, I'm Dina, creator of Way of the Founder and your host. I imagine this podcast as a space where aspiring and established freedom entrepreneurs come to forge a path towards purpose, financial freedom, meaningful impact, and location independence. I'll be your guide as we defy the norm, heal old conditioning, and step into the leaders we were born to be. I myself am a firstborn, a daughter of divorcee, sister, girlfriend, professional coach, nomad, and expat of a decade plus, as well as yoga aficionado and energy healer. In my previous career, however, I worked a 9-to-5 as a professional fundraiser for American orchestras. Can you believe it? However, I needed more. I needed more freedom in my life. So 5 years ago, I called quits on resume success and claimed back the reins over my own life. What started with a one-way ticket to Vietnam and a single backpack filled to the brim has since grown into Way of the Founder, where I've helped hundreds of clients defy and heal from the path that we're told to follow, redefine freedom, fulfillment, and success on their own terms, and build impact-driven businesses that let them live and work from anywhere. Join me each week for deep dives into leadership, strategy, and mindset, as well as the feeling that fuel the untethered CEO. That's you. Whether you're building your dream with a coconut flight ticket, wine glass, or coffee in hand, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to another episode. I am here to talk to you guys about what would you do or what should you do when you're feeling trapped in your business? So this is typically something we never want to admit, because the reason we got into entrepreneurship in the first place tends to be so that we can no longer feel trapped, so that we can get out of an environment, a society, a job, career that we feel trapped or stuck in or chained to. Then what tends to happen is you've been in business for a while, business is going well, but there's a part of you that feels trapped, that feels chained to your desk, tethered to your business, to your schedule, to your clients. And first of all, if you're listening to this, I just want to say I see you. I have been you, and I have undone this part of me. And in fact, this journey is not only a journey that I help a lot of my clients go on, the journey of, untrapping yourself, unchaining yourself, and truly moving into a business model that works better for you and one that hands you back agency over your time. But it's also the journey that I've been on. And it's a bit of a moment when you wake up one day and you realize this is not working, but it's supposed to be working. I've been doing all the things that I should be doing. Why do I feel trapped? Everyone is telling me, right? And you sort of fall into sort of a dialogue, an inner dialogue that's better, improved, but similar to the dialogue that you may have been having with yourself during the months leading up to quitting your job. However, the situation is not dire at all. The fact that you're listening to this tells me that you are making money, that you do have clients, that you do have some marketing in place, that you have learned how to create an offer that is sellable. Maybe you've even created repeat clients, right? So I want to be a voice for you. Don't have to literally burn it all down. You have to burn down some beliefs. You have to maybe step away from some strategies that you were taught that you now realize don't actually work for you. But all of the years past have brought you here, and now all you need is to spend maybe the 6 months or the next 6 months or so, the next 6 to 12 months to slightly recalibrate. And in this episode, I want to share with you a little more about my personal story of going from trapped entrepreneur to freedom entrepreneur, and some of the key elements that I've seen need changing or adjusting when an entrepreneur feels chained to their very own business. So let's get in. I'm going to start off by talking about my shift moment. We're writing the year, I don't know, the early 2020s, or just like it's all 1 year. All of these 5 years is 1 year. But I think it's like 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, we were traveling. No, must be 2 years ago. Yeah, more recent than that. We were traveling through Europe. We were technically on a 3-month long visa run in Albania because we needed to leave the Schengen zone. So we spent 3 months in Albania, and in Albania, I was doing two things. I was working day in, day out, taking coaching calls with paying clients, all of whom were wonderful clients, truly clients that inspired me inside and out. But the quantity of clients was eating away at me. I had 15 clients at the time. I was making pretty good money, but I had no space, mental, energetic, or time to grow my income, because there was literally no space for me to do it. And also, I didn't have enough offers to be able to grow my income beyond what I had in place, which was a group coaching and one-on-one coaching offer. Not only that, we were also at the time hand and knee deep in cat rescue all over Tirana. I've shared this story, or actually it's this episode will actually air before the episode in which I share the whole story about cat rescue. So that'll air in a future episode. But anyway, I was just emotionally and professionally very involved with, some personal things and then the business. And I felt really stuck and I wasn't doing well mentally at all. I had to come to terms with some pretty dark thoughts, like, what the fuck am I doing this all for? Like, I don't think that I'm doing the right things. Am I even doing the right things? I realized that there had to be a bit of an inner divorce that needed to happen. I had to divorce from some strategies that I was taught by some of my earlier coaches, and that sort of brought up some of my mother wounds because my earlier coaches were female, and I didn't want to disappoint them by going away. Like, there was a lot of inner turmoil happening. Like, wait a minute, am I going to disappoint fill in the blank if I veer away from the strategies that I've been following? So again, that was inner healing, because I'm not responsible for someone else's happiness or disappointment, right? That was a wound that came up again for me. And then also I sort of had to mourn the previous 3 years, right? Like, I was beginning to realize that there were strategies that not only were better for me, but strategies that I had known of and learned and studied and actually early in my business begun to implement and then also teach and coach on years prior to Albania. But I hadn't gone all in on these strategies in my own business. I sort of forgot who I was. I let other people tell me who I needed to be and how I needed to be showing up in my business. Again, mother wound. Lots of integration of personal mother wound and how it shows up in my business that was happening there. And by the way, if you're at all curious how your personal wounds are showing up in your business, by the time this airs, we are going to be in the middle of a 2-part masterclass called Unbecoming, which is the reckoning between shedding the skin of who you were taught you needed to be in order to be loved and successful, and truly becoming who you are meant to be in order to be that badass leader that creates a freedom-based business that works for you and changes the world for the better. Wow, that was a mouthful, but this is what this masterclass Unbecoming is all about. And it really, like, this whole masterclass is the result of me putting myself on a new journey, on an elevated business journey that started about 2.5 years ago. So if this is resonating, I strongly encourage you to plug into that masterclass. The recording will be available right after you unlock access, and then you can just either come tomorrow on the 23rd to the final part of the masterclass, or you can just watch it in your own time and have that information to really look at where are my wounds showing up in my business and how I run my business and what can I do about it, right? So for me, going back to the story, there was a lot of healing that I needed to do, a lot of forgiveness of others and self-forgiveness, revisiting of some of my wounds, getting out of that narrative that I had just wasted some of my business years and creating a more empowering narrative. And then, long story short, what I started doing was I started implementing all of the things that I knew to implement, but hadn't given myself permission to implement, and all of the things that I'm about to teach you. So fast forward, I am still working long hours. Some days, these days, most days, because I'm very plugged into my mission, into my purpose, and I have some really big goals for this year. And I'm not afraid to put a lot of time and a lot of energy, even a lot of money behind my goals. I'm no longer afraid, and I'm no longer waiting for permission from a coach or anyone else to go after my goals. I just go for them. So that for me right now does mean working Sunday evenings, working Monday mornings from 8 until, probably 8:30 tonight. And that may sound like I'm way out of balance and that's unhealthy and where's the work-life balance? But you know what? Like, I'm not here to fuck around. I'm here to build a big ass fucking business that the world will have to reckon with. Takes time, and I'm so happy to invest that time. It's like literally, it's not a hobby, but it's also the thing that I do right now. I don't have very many other hobbies right now. Like once in a while, I'll paint a little or dance a little. I do go to the gym, right? So I'm not unhealthily invested in my business, I would say, but I'm definitely choosing to go into overdrive right now, and I have the structures and the systems in place to do that. I no longer feel trapped. In fact, I feel fully supported, and I actually am opening up more and more avenues to be supported by systems, but also by a team moving forward. So how do you get here? Like how did I get from trapped in Tirana to feeling really inspired and just really driven in Da Nang? Wow, that's like a title. Like, trapped in Tirana to driven in Da Nang. Okay, well, there you go. That's my quirky little play on words for today. So let me check in with you. Truthfully, let me check in with you. What does it mean to feel trapped? Maybe you technically are successful by all standards of you have clients that are repeating, you can pay your bills with your money, you can hire coaches, but you just feel like if you were to double your income, you would probably have to work double the time or significantly increase your fees. If that's the case, you're trapped. If your business stops making money the minute you close your laptop, you're trapped. And I'm saying this sort of like, to really put it on the nose, because I want you to see that, wait a minute, this doesn't have to be the norm. Back when you got out of your 9 to 5 or out of your old career into this, there was a rewriting of the narrative that needed to happen, that getting paid by the hour wasn't the norm, that having to accrue vacation days, in America, even sick days, shouldn't be the norm. Well, now we're revisiting that narrative at a higher elevated level. And I'm telling you, sales coming in only when you're online and actively selling should not be the next level in business, is to automate part of your sale. If you're still trading time for cash, you're trapped. And yeah, even if you have goal-aligned, transformation-aligned pricing for your one-on-one and don't technically charge by the hour, you're still trading money for cash. If getting sick means that you have to reschedule like a ton of one-on-one client calls, you're trapped. Listen, just a few weeks ago, and if you're listening to the podcast regularly, which at this point you totally should, because why are you not? Then you would know that a few weeks ago, I was at a conference for 2 whole weeks. Now I was still working here and there during that time. Like, it didn't take completely off. Plus the conference was something that I went to quite strategically for a way of the founder, but I wouldn't have been able to attend 2 weeks of conference if I was still running on a group coaching and one-on-one coaching business model. Literally, my business would have not allowed me to do that. If you're waking up at 6 a.m. and staying up until 10 p.m. to juggle your clients' time zones, still you're trapped. If scaling feels like choosing between burnout and doubling your rates, you're a little trapped. So right now, check in with yourself. Do any of these things resonate with you? And we're not here to wait until it gets worse. No, if you're like, oh, wait a minute, I think I'm headed there, then keep listening because I'm about to save you from feeling chained to your business. I'm literally about to fucking save you. So let's dive in. How do you fix this? And this is the process that I took myself through, and this is the process that I take my clients through. And as always, I'm not giving you a step by step, this is exactly the model you should be creating now. No, that would totally defeat the purpose of creating an agency first freedom-based business, right? But there are specific keys that we have to turn and twist and adjust so that you can create a business that actually works for you. And these keys, they tend to be in general the same for everyone. It's just how you apply them, which door you put them into to unlock more freedom. That's going to be, it's just going to depend on your ideal lifestyle and your business purpose, etc., etc. So first you want to go back to return to the roots, meaning you want to check in with yourself. What is the lifestyle that you want to live? And does your business right now support that ideal lifestyle, or are you having to sacrifice your lifestyle for your business? So technically, your entire business, the way you structure your business should support your ideal lifestyle. So if you want to work 20 hours a week, your business should support that, not sabotage it. If you do not ever want to be on a one-on-one call with a potential client or a paying client, then your business should support that wish, not undermine it. That being said, there might be, especially in a phase where you're pivoting your business model, there might be a phase where you have to work a little more than 20 hours, where you have to work on the weekends just to make this happen as quickly as possible. That's okay. But we're talking mid to long term. Is your business supporting or sabotaging your ideal lifestyle? That's number one. Number two, you have to reconnect to transformation. Specifically, you want to reconnect to your business purpose. What are you actually helping your clients become? What's the transformation that you support your clients? Now, when it comes to your business purpose, you want to be clear on who do you help? What do you help them create? Like, what's point A that you pick them up at, and what's point B where you drop them off at? And why does this matter? Why does it matter to you? Why does it matter to your clients? And why does it matter to the world around you and even your clients? If you're unclear on that, your offers and your marketing are going to feel a little like spaghetti at the wall. And maybe if you're being honest right now, maybe that's the case. So I want to pause on this just quickly. Why is this so important for you to sort of return back to your business purpose? It's important because your business purpose is essentially the strategic litmus test for every single thing that you do in your business. Like, everything that you do in your business should help you make good on your business purpose. This is true for the decisions you make, for what you say in your Instagram stories, for the posts that you put out, the email marketing that you create, the freebies that you put out, but then also the overall content strategy that you create and implement, and the offers that you create and implement. If you don't have this business purpose in place, you're going to have a really hard time mapping out your client journey and diversifying your offers. Which brings me to the third key that we have to talk about to untrap you, to unchain you. And at this point, I'm also going to say, if this resonates, my masterclass, The Unchained Entrepreneur, is 100% for you. I go really deep in that masterclass, 75-minute masterclass. I go really deep into helping you restructure your business for time and income mastery without losing any income, without losing any impact on your clients. So if this is resonating, you're like, oh my gosh, I need more of this. Like, give me all of the things. I really need to get to this right now. The Unchained Entrepreneur is for you. So the third key that you have to turn is you have to map out your client journey. It's pretty easy to forget about your client journey in your marketing and overall in your strategy if all you have is an everything included course, a group coaching, and a one-on-one coaching offer. Why? Because now you just put everything that you know inside these offers, right? It's more structured in a course than it is typically in one-on-one. But still, you don't necessarily need to be hyper aware of all of the problems that you solve along your client journey and all of the desires that you help your clients meet along that journey. Now, this becomes crucial. It's literally key. Your business purpose helps you determine your client journey. Along the transformation that you have just determined you help your clients create? What are the problems that you solve? What are the dreams that you help fulfill? Maybe you have like 4 key problems that you help solve. Maybe it's 5, like anywhere between 3 and 6 key problems, key desires that you help meet. What are those? That's your client journey. Now, your client journey, not to dive too deep into this, but your client journey is going to help you significantly with A, creating and diversifying your offers, and B, developing sales funnels that don't feel salesy and that actually work, that actually convert. Why? Because now you're so aware of where your clients are getting stuck along the journey that you can naturally take them from one offer to the next offer, because that is naturally the progression that they in their own life would be going on. So creating funnels is sort of a sub key, right? It's an automated sequence of emails and a sales flow that nurtures your buyers and supports them in making the right decision and helps you close sales while being on a plane, sleeping, being at the beach, like doing anything but actually actively selling on a call. You can't implement funnels that truly work and convert unless you know your business purpose and are dialed in on your client journey. Now, in order to have a funnel at all, you need to have more than one offers, right? So let's talk about diversifying your offers. This is the next key that's really, really important when it comes to unchaining yourself, becoming the unchained entrepreneur. It's your offers. I was on the call with a client the other day and he was like, okay, Dina, you're saying I need more clients. That's true, but I have this one client and this one client is taking up my entire time. Like, how am I was going to say, how the fuck am I? But this person actually does not swear, which is very admirable. It's very admirable indeed. But he asked me anxiously, he was like, how am I supposed to create more clients? Like, I'm already overwhelmed with this one client. Now, this is a bit of an extreme case where we actually have to look at the one-on-one offer, what that looks like. We have to look at some leadership, at some packaging, pricing, and boundaries, right? But I use this as an example to say that if the way your current offers are set up does not allow you to add on more either clients or offers, the offers you do have set up have to be changed first. That might mean that you bring down the capacity that you have available for these offers, that you tighten up your boundaries around these offers, that you change the availability or the access to you that you give whilst keeping everything else the same. That's going to really depend on who you are, your service, and the way your business is set up versus what you need your business to look like 6 to 12 months from now. But ultimately, you need to diversify your offers. That means that you want to have what's called, well, different people call it different things. Interchangeably, I call it an offer ladder or an offer suite. I actually like the image of an offer ladder, right? You want to, for every problem that you solve along your client journey, you want to have at least 2 offers, an entry-level offer and a higher priced offer. And you want these things to become part of a natural sales progression. That's what I mean by diversifying your offers. Now, what do I mean by an entry-level offer? I mean something like this masterclass I just invited you to take. The Unchained Entrepreneur is, at the time of recording, I think $29. It's a price that you can choose to pay literally before your first coffee while you're still in bed and you're scrolling. That's a no-brainer offer. It's an entry-level offer. It still provides a shitload of value. This is important. It provides a shitload of value. It's not something I just slapped together in 20 minutes. No, it took me a minute to put this together, but it introduces your audience to you without you actually having to be on a call and connecting or in the DM and connecting and spending your own time. Now this masterclass is doing the job for you. You're beginning to build a machine that sells while you're not online. Now, once this one problem is solved, you may want to introduce them to a new offer or to the next offer that might be priced at a higher level, that might go significantly deeper on the problem, that might weave some other things in that you know are deeply related and that they need to create an actual transformation. And then, of course, on top of these offers, you may still wish to have your group coaching or your membership or your mastermind or your one-on-one. these offers, these close proximity offers, typically they don't just solve a problem. Like these offers are purely focused on transformation. Now, with diversifying your offers, you also need to begin to think a little differently of your content and also your sales. Your content should not be a knowledge dump where you just share about all of the expertise that you have. Your content is here to educate your audience on the problems that you know they have along your client journey. Now, this sounds like you're supposed to use your content like you're trying to fix someone. Absolutely not, right? But I have to educate you. I did this in the beginning of this very episode. I had to educate you on what it means to be a trap founder and why this is a problem. So I have to make you aware of the problem. I have to make you aware of your own desires. And then I have to connect the dots and say, hey, listen, this is how you can get there. Got it? So use your content as a compass. You have to point your audience towards their deepest desires and show them why it matters to them to go after these desires. And then you move them from problem awareness and desire awareness into solution awareness, specifically the solution that you offer. So these are the keys that you need to take and twist and turn in order to create more freedom in your business. Now, when you create more freedom in your business, you create more access to your business because suddenly you have a $30 masterclass and not just a $3,000 course or one-on-one coaching or whatever it may be. So you're creating more access, which means you're creating more impact, but you're also creating more solutions. Not everyone needs all of the solutions all at once. This is why typically everything that I know course doesn't really work. You want to split it up. You can still, once you've split it up and launched all of the course, you can still bundle it together. Absolutely. But not everyone is going to need all of the solutions all at once. Maybe they just need this one solution. So you're creating more solutions for your audience, which means you're creating more entry points into your business, which means you're creating more opportunities to get yourself paid. Just as a reminder, when we get paid more, we're creating more agency for ourselves and for the communities, the societies that we touch by creating a shitload of money for ourselves in a way that actually lights us up and that actually leaves us with some time and energy. At the end of the day, we are changing the world. Then, of course, the next step is what are you going to do with that money? But from a business perspective, this is how you get there. This is how you can create more resources to create a bigger impact. This is how you create more structures to create more freedom of time. This is how you unchain yourself. This is how you unchain yourself. So when it comes to what should I do first? Like which key should I find first? Which key should I turn first? Where should I go first? Now I'm overwhelmed, Dina. You just told me you were going to untrap me and now I'm a little overwhelmed because you just gave me these however many keys I gave you, like 5 keys maybe. So this is where I'm going to point you to the Unchained Entrepreneur Masterclass that reiterates all of these and goes deeper on how to create these keys. And then what's in there is a priority list that you may choose to implement over the next 6 to 12 months in order to do this step by step and not completely pull the plug on the way your business looks like right now and be strapped for money, but to implement this and to change your business 1 degree at a time, step by step. So if you want the in-depth key analysis and the process that I would recommend you and the prioritization that I recommend in which you go about adjusting your business towards freedom, and definitely plug into the Unchained Entrepreneur Masterclass. The link for that will be in the description. Truly hope this was helpful. Please drop me either a comment in Spotify or just drop me a DM on Instagram. Let me know how this sits with you, how this resonates with you, what you're going to do, what you're going to be able to do as a result of listening to this episode. And of course, if you so please, I would absolutely love for you to just quickly grab your phone and whether you're on Apple or on Spotify, to just please leave a review. It does help the ranking of this episode, not just this episode, but of this podcast. And this in turn helps us reach more people and help more people build more agency and a truly freedom-based business that changes the world. We need all of the people. We need all of the people to have the tools, to have the mindset, to have the community
to do just that. So thank you for giving your time to this episode. I can't wait to hear from you to see how this landed for you, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the podcast, Your Business Untethered, hosted by me, Dinat, creator of Way of the Founder. I love hearing from you, so please drop me a DM on Instagram sharing your insights from this episode. And if you are ready to take the lead, my free guides, Plot Your 9-to-5 Escape in 7 days, and the Freedom Business Scorecard are in the show notes for you to grab. If this episode created change for you, please leave a review and be a friend and share this with a friend or colleague that you love. Until next time, please wake every day, seize the day, defy the norm, and create your very own type of freedom. I love you. I do mean it.